Well, welcome back to the Faith Together podcast, sponsored by the Center for Faith and Family at Olivet Nazarene University. I'm Lindsey, and I'm joined with my co-host, Leon. Hello, Leon.
Hi, Lindsey. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too. It's great to be back in the studio together.
Yes, it's been a while.
It really has.
So for our regular listeners, if they've paid attention, they know that generally we take the month of January off. We do the podcast up through the end of the year, and then we take January off to kind of get ourselves ready for the coming year, and that's what we've done. So this is our first episode back for the 2026 season. It
is. That's right. And even though our seasons run for a school year, it kind of feels like today is the start of a new one.
Yeah, it does. And it's good. And so we're going to do a little bit of a welcome back kind of an episode today, right?
That's right. You and I, we're just going to catch up here for a little bit and talk about what we're looking forward to in this new year of 2026.
Yeah. And 25 was really a busy year for us.
It was.
So can I just do a little bit of recap of where we were in 2025? Mm-hmm. So one of the things, if you're not a regular listener to our podcast, you may not know that this podcast is sponsored by the Center for Faith and Family, which is a organization that we started at Olivet after receiving a significant grant from Lilly Endowment for the purpose of helping parents more effectively pass their faith to their kids. And that led to a lot of research that we did. And then out of that research came this podcast. And mostly the other end of it is the curriculum that we've developed, which we'll talk a little bit about later. Mm-hmm. And so every year I have to give an annual report back to Lilly and let them know what we're doing with their money, which is kind of fun. It's fun to remember all the things that we did. Not so fun to write the report.
Exactly. It's fun to read it and celebrate it when it's done.
Yeah. So I've been working on that report. So there's just some things that stood out to me that were fun to kind of discover that I hadn't really been paying attention to until I had to go back and get the stats together. But our website, centerff.com, Center for Faith and Family, so centerff.com, we created 3,266 new accounts on the website this past year.
So
which
exciting.
Which means that's over 3,000 people that have logged onto our website, registered so that they have access to all of our curriculum, which of course is free for anybody who wants to use it. And I think a lot of these people that have registered are maybe doing some of the curriculum on their own as a family, and others are doing it as leaders in their churches in small groups, which is the way it was really designed, right? And so that was kind of cool. And then on our podcast, we have 627 followers.
Yay!
Can you believe that?
I can't, actually.
So do you remember when we started this, we thought, I wonder if anybody actually listens to this?
Yes.
We thought, well, at least you and I get to talk together. I don't know if it's going to help anybody else, but it'll help us to go through all of these things. So I thought that was kind of fun. So those are just two stats from 2025 that I thought were kind of fun. So we created some new curriculum.
We did.
We spoke at some conferences. We've connected with some really great people, and that's led to some of the things we're looking at doing in 26.
Absolutely. I loved in 2025, it was the year of moving forward and building on the foundation that was laid in 2024. And so I love that we were able to add 2 more series of curriculum, the How to Study the Bible and the Celebrating Advent, and both were such great complements to our curriculum we already had in place for parents. And so that was really special. And then to be able to continue to see our curriculum get into the hands of churches, small group leaders. We're going to talk more about that here in a little bit, but it was wonderful to just hear the beginning of feedback of how the curriculum is being used.
Yeah. Our first couple years, so that we're actually starting year 4 of this 5-year grant. And, our first couple years was a lot of ground laying.
Yes.
Groundwork and getting everything ready. And I felt like last year, it wasn't a coast year by any means, but it was the hard grunt work had been done. And now we got to do the things we really wanted to do to make this thing effective.
Yes. I like to think of it in building a house, right? You get all the pieces in place and then the fun part, at least for me, is when you get to put your stuff inside, put it where you want it, and make it feel like home. I feel like this year has been a year of us really feeling at home in this work and making it our own.
Yeah, and we're going to continue in the next couple of years doing the same thing. So we're just going to build on what we've already done, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's look at 26.
Let's do it.
Okay, so probably the biggest thing we're doing, at least at the beginning of the year, is we've got 8 churches in in our community who have agreed to do a study with us. And what they're going to do is they're going to use our screen safety curriculum, which we did with Arlene Pelicane.
That's right.
And was such a great experience with her. And they're going to use that curriculum for 4 weeks in their local churches, and then they're going to let us study them. So we're going to survey them kind of a long term. So we're going to take a month or two after they complete the study and then ask them a bunch of questions about how they're implementing some of the concepts in their family. And then a little bit further down the road, we're going to get those same groups of parents together and ask them a number of questions about how the curriculum helped them, how it didn't help them, what we should change in it, and how it's impacting the way that they function as a family, which I'm really excited to hear all of that.
That will be so valuable.
Yeah, and then I'm hoping that out of that comes some kind of a paper or that we could publish or maybe even a book, depending on what we discover from all of that that would be helpful to other people. And then when we're all done, we're going to gather all of the families from all the churches on campus at Olivet and just have a celebration of the journey that we were on. So we've got 8 local churches who are doing that, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we're calling this experience Faith-Formed Families.
Faith-Formed Families, that's right.
So even though they are using the screen time safety curriculum, we are calling them collectively as a group Faith-Formed Families, and look forward to seeing if this, if this structure works. Maybe it's something we can do again, next year.
Yeah, and the thing I love about it, kind of as an educator, is that we get to see real statistics, so real information from these families. To this point, we've pretty much done the curriculum based on the research that you and I have done, and others as well, and determined what we think would be best in helping parents. And now we get a chance to actually test the things that we put in place to make sure it really is accomplishing what we hoped it would.
Yes, which is so important because we don't want to just do this without it having an application to families' lives.
That's right. Absolutely.
We want it to actually be helpful. And that's what Lily wants too. That's what this whole project is about.
Yeah. So if you would like to see any of this curriculum, in particular look at the screen safety curriculum, but all of them are listed there, you can find that at our website, centerff.com. And again, if you register, it'll give you access to everything. Registration is about as simple as it gets. It's an email address and a password that you create, and everything on there is free.
I love it. And you can also reach out to us on centerff.com. There's a way to get in contact with us. So if you have any questions or you need further information on what to do with the curriculum, if you're wanting to host it in your local congregation or with your local community, we're happy to help you in any way that we can.
Absolutely. And if you want to just email us, you can do that as well at cff@olivet.edu. cff@olivet.edu, and that comes directly to my email.
It does.
So we will follow up with you on that if you have questions or suggestions for us. That would be great too.
Yes, and we're excited to look ahead that we also have some new curriculum in development.
That's right. We're kind of dreaming.
We are.
About some things that we'd like to see. And when we say dreaming, part of that is because we're relying on other people who are specialists in these areas, and we're waiting to hear back from them.
We are.
So it's still in the dreaming stage, but we are hopeful to have a series that would focus on everyday household practices. So things that you can do in your home that not extra things that take extra time, that make life more crazy, but to take a lot of things that you're already doing and just tweak them a bit to be a little more intentional in accomplishing these spiritual depths, I guess, spiritual, how do we say that? The spiritual practices that we want our kids to have.
Yes, and just easy conversation starters.
Yeah.
Ways that we can really live out the Shema of doing it in our everyday, our walking, our coming,
That's
our
right.
going.
And some of that is things you can do at the dinner table, things you can do during bedtime, all of those kind of things, just real practical, helpful tools. And we have a lady who lives her life in that world and has written a couple books. And so we're really hoping she's going to come along and help us with that. And then the other series we're going to do, or we're hoping to do, is like part 2 of our healthy parenting series.
Yes.
So we had 2 of our faculty from Olivet do the first series. So there's 4 episodes in that series, and they did a great job. But we just felt like we didn't go far enough, that there's more that needs to be communicated. So we're looking at a healthy parenting series, which I think will be really helpful. One of the things we discovered in our initial research is that in order for faith to be effectively passed to our kids, we have to be healthy as parents in a variety of areas, so that what we're passing along is healthy.
Yeah, and it's a great tool once this curriculum is available for those churches, those communities, those parents that have been journeying with us so far and maybe are looking for something a little bit more, a little bit deeper, to take it to a part 2. I'm even thinking about the families we'll get to know through our research project of faith-formed families that after they are done with screen time safety saying, oh, I'm ready for something else, a month in or a month out, so they could step into healthy parenting part 1 and part 2 to take it even deeper.
Yeah, and on that note, we've even talked about a part 2 to the screen safety curriculum.
We have.
Because, the whole issue of screen safety, we're learning more and more about what's happening to us, the dangers, things we can do that are really healthy when it comes to screens with our kids almost daily.
Right.
I mean, we're just immersed in it right now, and there's new research coming out. Barna's bringing a lot of research. Coddling the American Mind, which is Jonathan Haidt's website. They're doing research all the time, and we're discovering more and more. And so there may be an addendum or not an addendum, but a part 2 to our screen safety curriculum.
And again, it goes to this picture of just building on what groundwork the Lord led us to start through the research at the beginning of this project. And so I think it's all lining up to be exactly what He wants for this project, but also we're leaving room to, be open to what the Lord may want us to try something new or find something out from another professional, So with this project, it lives and breathes, doesn't it, Leon?
Yeah, it sure does. Sure does. Okay, so that's our curriculum and some of the dreaming we're doing there. Lindsey, talk to us about the podcast. Where are we headed in our podcast this season?
Yes, so excited about Faith Together, the podcast this season. As we're sharing today, we're kind of paving the way to share with you what's coming up. And really excited for the series that we'll be kicking off next week. This series is called Shalom at Home. And we tried to rhyme it on purpose so that you would remember the word shalom and the word home as a way to really practice wholeness in our homes, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And so we know that we talked about this in our Advent our Advent series a few months ago now, that shalom really is the biblical word for peace, but it means so much more than that.
It does.
It is wholeness. It's restoration. It's a process. Mm-hmm. It isn't something that happens overnight. And so we want to talk about what does it look like to have practices in our homes that bring shalom, that bring wholeness. And some of that might be around just emotional safety, belonging, worth, and identity in our homes, of sharing with our kids, this is who you are, and reminding ourselves as parents, this is who God says I am as well, and living out of those places and speaking life over one another. And so really looking forward to exploring those themes together.
And we're looking to have some guests for that, right?
We are. So,
here's the funny thing, Lindsey, I don't know if this is good or bad for us, but one of the other things that came out when I was doing all those stats things that I shared earlier is that our most listened to podcasts are when we have guests.
I know. Everyone loves the guests, which we do too.
We do too. Which I don't know what that says about you and me, but
It's anyway. Okay. It shows that when there are more friends involved, the more friends listen.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
I think that's a good thing.
That's good. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to having those guests with us for that series.
So a little bit about the guests that we hope to have here in the next few weeks. We're still working out all those details, but I got to attend once again Children's Pastors Conference this year. If you remember, Leon, you and I went last year.
That's right.
You didn't come this year, but I was able to go, and I was able to be a part of a workshop with an organization called Reach Hurting Kids Institute. And this organization I can link in our show notes. They are wonderful. They focus on just being trauma informed in children's ministry and coming alongside children so that they feel safe, they feel at peace, they feel they belong, and they feel they are worthy. And so when we think about shalom at home, I think those are some really, really important themes to talk about in our homes: safety, peace, belonging, and worth. And so we're going to be partnering with the Reach Hurting Kids Institute, and Reverend Kayla Smith is a part of that. She's a good friend of ours down in Trevecca.
In Nashville, yeah.
Yep, Trevecca Nazarene, your alma mater.
That's right.
Leon. And then also a good friend of yours, Dr. Robert Crosby.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's a wonderful professor and researcher. And then his wife, Lori Crosby, is a play therapist. Wonderful couple that just have a heart for kids and parents to be whole. And so we're looking forward to just learning from them, having them join us, and sharing more about these practices of shalom at home. So that'll be coming up starting next week. And then after that series, we're excited to just kind of talk through some of these household practices of faith that you referenced that we're building a curriculum around for this year. But we also want to do a podcast series that will give us a high level just overview of what some of those simple practices can be, whether it's a bedtime ritual, whether it's a dinner time conversation starter, or a morning blessing.
Yeah, that's good. One of the things that we've discovered as we've gone along this journey is that when we do podcasts that connect with our curriculum, that they kind of support each other. So a lot of people who have gone through our curriculum, one of the things we do in that is we also link to the curriculum the podcasts that we've done that are on the same topics, so that if parents, after they've completed the curriculum, want to go back and listen to those podcasts, they're available there.
Yes. Kind
of as additional resources for them.
Yeah, I love to just see how it can complement each other. They're different, but they definitely still come out under the same theme. So really excited for what the podcast has in store here in these next couple months. And of course, it will be Easter very soon. And so we'll have some time to talk about what that looks like to celebrate with our kids at home. And just even in the church calendar, different things that we find to be meaningful in our own lives around Lent and Easter. So looking forward to those things together, really coming at the podcast this semester with a practical lens. You know, what are the things at home? What are the things even at church through our Easter services that can really build faith in the next generation and in our families?
Yeah, that's what this is all about, right?
Yes.
Helping our parents raise up spiritual champions.
Yes,
who will go out and change the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's dawning on me as we're kind of coming to the end of this episode that we've not really given any life updates.
Oh, yeah. We kind of jumped right into the project.
So why don't we do that real quick as we get ready to wrap things up? I know my mom is probably listening today, and my mom always says to me, when am I going to hear the next podcast? I want to find out what's going on in Lindsay's life with her adoption.
That is so sweet.
So here's a chance for you to share a little bit about how life is as a mom now.
Yes, I'm so thrilled to share that. I have now found that my favorite role of all the things that God's called me to is being a mom. It's pretty amazing. And our daughter, she is doing wonderful. We're coming up on just about 7 months together from this last summer when she came home to us from the Philippines, and everything is being finalized. And so when that day comes that it is all finalized and it's basically just waiting on a piece of paper, I can share her name and a few more details. Yeah. But I will say the Advent season and Christmas in particular was so special. we weren't sure how that would go because sometimes holidays, birthdays, things like that can be hard for kids that have come from a hard place or have had a lot of change in their life. But it was not so for her. She just loved all the celebrations. And there were moments when we were with family that we looked at each other, my husband Jamin and I, and just said, it feels as if she's been here forever. And
that's great.
That is only the Spirit of God, the presence of the Lord walking with us through these last few months. And it hasn't been an easy road. I don't want to paint a pink picture that it's just been perfect. But she is pretty remarkable, and her resilience and her love for not only having a family of her own, but feeling a part of the family of God within our church community, with the community here at Olivet, has been very formational and meaningful to her. And so when we got to the end of the year and she was able to just celebrate and have fun and enjoy the holiday like never before, it was very special for all three of us and very meaningful. And we got to go and take her to Disney. She got to come to CPC, to Children's Pastors Conference, and that was really special. And just good attachment, good bonding. We were so thankful for that time together.
Well, knowing you and Jamin, I know that you have made this transition for her as gentle and loving a transition as possible. So I'm not surprised that she's thriving, and that's great. That's great.
Thank you, Leon.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah, so she's the light of our lives. We are constantly laughing, constantly smiling. She's keeps us on our toes for sure, and doing well in school, catching up, all the things she needs to do.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great. Well, I have a new addition to my family.
That's right.
Last week, my daughter had our fourth grandchild,
my
Oakley,
goodness.
And so excited to have her in our family. And it's kind of funny. There's nothing like being Papa. And so the plan, so she was born Wednesday and I have classes on Friday. And so the plan was that I would leave Friday after classes and go visit them there in Kentucky. And so Wednesday came and she was born, and my wife was already there because she had some freedom to be able to do that. And I remember thinking on Wednesday, I got to wait till Friday afternoon and then drive down there. I won't even see her till late Friday night. And then I'll have to be back on Sunday, and it's going to be a quick turnaround. And then I thought, I wonder if I canceled my classes, then I could leave Friday morning. And then as I'm thinking about that, it dawned on me, I don't have classes on Thursday. Now I could leave Thursday morning. So I went to class on Wednesday and told my students, we don't have class Friday. Of course, they were heartbroken about the whole
I'm
thing.
sure they were.
But so I got to spend a few days with my family in Kentucky and with Oakley. And it was just amazing. She's gorgeous, and we're really excited to have her in our family.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I keep getting congratulated, which is wonderful, but I didn't really have much to do with it. But it's still wonderful. Yes. So, whether you're a parent or a grandparent, aunt, uncle, you are invested in the lives of children. What a potential impact you have on them. And so the heart of our ministry and what we're doing with the Center for Faith and Family is to do everything that we know to do to help you on that journey. Both Lindsey and I are children's pastors, and our lives have been focused on trying to equip parents to be all that God's called them to be, in particular when they struggle with knowing exactly what that all looks like. And so we are hopeful that this podcast and the curriculum that we're creating and other things that we're doing in the center will be helpful to you in that journey. And we're trying to make it as easy as possible. So please go to the website, centerff.com. Everything on there is free to you to use as you deem best. And if you have questions along the way, please be sure to contact us.
Yes, we want to help. So reach out anytime. And we're thrilled to be back, thrilled to say hello to all of you. And we hope that your 2026 has started off with blessings from the Lord. And if it's a tough season for you, our prayer is that as you tune in here on Sundays or whenever it is that you tune in, that we will bring some joy and peace to your home through the Faith Together podcast.
We hope that you will join us next week. And please remember, when building faith, we are better together.